What is the?
Yeah, I feel good. I think. There. Which are both
Okay, here, let me. How do I join the Zoom?
just in the meeting invite where it is in our meeting calendar. You can go on there, or you can just send it to me and I can put it up there.
And so can I, well, I have to join.
You have to join. You need to cast your presentation, your other options. Email the presentation to us. We put it up and then you can have a clicker and you'll still be able to control it. So it's just whatever.
I'll download it and then I'll try
any fancy transitions or anything like that?
No
Slide by
video
slide.
in there, nothing.
Everything goes up immediately?
Yeah.
Okay, then that should work.
And what's your email?
You could just do the front desk, so front desk 37.
I'll unplug this so that everyone is. Is it okay? Yeah.
One second. Did you download it as a presentation or a PDF?
A PDF, is that okay, or should I download it as a presentation?
Presentation, because we can't put PDFs in the
Okay. So download. Right. Okay. It's
That's 537. Yep. Big used to be the.
yeah, I know. That's probably why I have it crammed in there.
Perfect.
And then I don't need to do this sharing.
When you do anything out there, you'll just have the clicker. You'll just be able to clicker. Yep.
Okay. Perfect. So there's people on Zoom and it's being recorded, so that's why I'm. Hi, how are you? How are you? Good, I'm good. My jewelry. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. If you have some more. Yes, I know. I wish I could. Oh. Walk. Talk now. Better. Oh my God. I feel fine. You sound like just. I was gonna be like, no, it's stuck. Now he's okay. Okay. What? Huh? What do I do?
Send it as.
Why?
I think it's like
Really? I don't know why. Can I send it to someone's personal email or something?
I send it to jfry@kw.com.
FREY@kw.com.
That would be a lot. I'm like, she looks familiar. She was.
Okay, I just sent again.
Oh yeah, yeah. See, I was blanking. I'm like,
Yeah.
Diane.
I can hear it here.
Yeah, I know.
Or do you want me to just join the Zoom?
Is this your own?
No, I mean.
We love Mel.
Yeah, we gotta support the girl.
We gotta support the girl.
We love our Mel. I wanna learn a lot today, honey bunny. Do I need my
Good.
top out? Honey.
I mean, we can do a private session. You
Oh.
Wow.
can bring out your laptop if you want.
Would it be helpful, do you think?
Well, if you already have a Google My Business page, and I'm talking about things and you're wondering, gosh, I wonder if I have that or not. You have it pulled up. See, did that go through?
Are you gonna send
Okay,
us? I'm trying to get.
Yeah.
Is the toughest
You know
thing to
what?
update.
Just that thing is so, it's a nightmare every time you try to even make updates on that.
Really?
Do I just type in
That's
Google my business?
interesting.
Do I Google my business?
If you go to Google,
Yeah.
If you go to Google.
if you go to Google and you type in my business, it should actually come up if you have one.
Oh,
And
okay.
you're logged into your Google.
Okay.
See if it works.
I should have brought my laptop. I thought about it. and I
See,
didn't.
now I already
I pulled this out.
I always try to do Google My Business, then.
I typed my name. See, that's already something. I didn't know.
And you can save your business page as a favorite, so then it always comes up first if you're at Google My Maps or whatever. Like it'll say, so you can go right into it, you can make updates from your phone app and everything.
Save it from your, on your favorite.
See?
That's
Okay,
two things.
did it work?
That was worth it.
We're all
Okay,
set.
good.
So just forward
Sorry for
backwards.
the
No, it's
delay.
okay.
Okay, so this goes forward and that goes back.
My laptop.
Yep.
Okay, good.
And then if you want to do, this just helps for people online.
Okay, good.
Thank you so much.
They were kind of no.
Okay. Are we all ready to go?
Microphone.
Is this a little too echoey or what do you guys think?
Now you're very bright.
Okay. Since we have a smaller in-person group, would you guys be okay with just going around and saying your name and if you have a Google My Business page? Just so we have an idea. That cool? Okay, Kim, you can start.
Oh, thanks. I am Kim Gild. I'm from KW Edina. And I think I do. I'm pretty sure I do. Just type in my,
Yeah, if you type in My Business on Google and you have a page, it should actually come up. If you're logged into Google. Okay, moving on.
well, wait, no, how do you know? Google, yeah. Business profile, get listed on Google. Sign.
Or you could Google yourself and see if anything comes up.
Yes,
Okay, let's move on to Diane.
I am the one with Weston State Home, and I do have a
You
page.
do have a page. Good.
Gary Harmon with West Means, and I also have a.
I'm David Carey from right here. No, I do not.
This is a great class for you then.
Good morning, my name is Kate.
Perfect. This is going to be really exciting to get started on this class then. So the reason that I'm doing this class, and which by the way, my name is Melanie Dunker. Hi, I'm with All American Title, and we as a company feel like we want to offer more value to our clients than just an exceptional closing experience. So we do classes like this to help you build your business because that is then our business. And we like to take our value beyond the closing table. If you haven't used All American Title yet, you have to do it. I've got booklets up here with my info and you can reach out to me at any time. So I understood the value of Google My Business and I actually took this online course and I realized there was a lot of stuff I didn't actually know about it. And so I took a bunch of notes and then I thought, why don't I convert this into a class and explain it to real estate agents? Because what better way to boost your business than using this free platform, the biggest search engine in the world, to do it? So I have a bunch of notes here. I'm going to kind of probably be trailing off and on, but we're just going to roll with it. So basically, it used to be called Google My Business. Now it's called My Business Profile. But of course, people still say Google My Business because you know how things go when they change. And if any of you have, I don't know if you guys do this, but I do this all the time. Whenever I'm going anywhere, I put it into Google and I follow my Google Maps. Even though my car has a way where I can type in navigation, it's quicker on Google. I got my phone right there and that's what I use. So that just goes to show you how many people actually use Google on a daily basis. So guess how many times Google was used last month? Does anybody have any idea?
10 million.
89.3 billion times. And every second, Google processes over 99,000 searches, which is 8.5 billion searches a day, which is insane. And so here's another fun fact. Guess how much Google My Business has increased in the last 2 years? By what percent? $900,000% in the last 2 years. So if there's ever a time to be utilizing Google My Business, it is definitely now. So I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. I want to make sure I stay up to date on these slides. Oh, wait, is this clicker working? Do I need to turn this on? Oh, okay. Kind of welcomed you all. Welcome, welcome again. Okay, so why does Google My Business matter? Google My Business matters because it's one of the quickest ways for somebody to get an easy snapshot of your business. Whenever you Google something, like, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I Google everything. I Google restaurants near me, live music, bars, whatever. First thing I do is I look at how many people have rated it and how many stars it has. If it's a restaurant with 3.2 stars, I'm scrolling right by it. Doesn't even matter. So it's like, if you can have a Google My Business page and get some good 5-star reviews on there, it's so important. And you add in some nice, pretty pictures, people aren't going to scroll by you. They're going to click in and want to know who you are. Okay, so this is a fun one that I just used, you guys, because this is a good example. If somebody's on their laptop and they type in somebody's name, this is how it shows up on Google. All I typed in here was Bethany Nelson. Hi, Bethany, if you're watching. I think she does an excellent job because I didn't even type in realtor or real estate agent. All I did was type in Bethany Nelson, and she's got her business page comes up on the side there and all these other search engines. And you can see she's really maintained that 5-star Google rating, which looks great. So that's just an example of what it looks like to the average person that's Googling your name. Let's say somebody met you somewhere and they kind of remembered your name. Let's say they met Kim somewhere and they're like, God, I kind of remember Kim. I think she was in real estate, didn't remember the brokerage or anything. And they just type her name. Like, that's kind of what it'll show up and look like. So you want to make sure that you have your page optimized like that. Okay, so setting it up ASAP is the number one thing you want to do. Filling it out completely is the best. So once you start setting it up, actually, I think I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me make sure I'm on the right slide. Here. Well, we'll talk about that later. But filling it out completely is one of the most important things. Google rewards people that have filled out their page completely. So let's say you type in your name, address, but you don't really put in any photos. You don't really put in your hours. It's not going to kick you out in the searches as quickly as it would for somebody that has it 100% filled out. And it'll let you know every time you go in there, it'll even say, hey, you're only 65% filled out. You got to do this, this, and this. And it'll direct you and walk you through it. And once you're like fully set up, it'll say you're all set up 100%, just those little details that it wants you to fill in. Make sure that your name and your title hold the things that people might be searching. So obviously, if you're a real estate agent, and I think Bethany Nelson said Bethany Nelson Real Estate Group, like you want to have all that information in there. You don't want to say anything like John Smith, realtor, real estate agent, Minneapolis, Maple Grove, Roseville, and put all that crap in there. It'll probably suspend your page if you're not using it properly. Your title is supposed to just be what you and your business are, and you can fill in all those other little details in the description later, but you don't want to put too much in your actual name. And in order to do a Google My Business page, and I'm just speaking because some people may not know this, you have to have a Gmail account in order to do that. So setting up a Gmail account is free. It's very easy to do. And it might even be something as simple as, Melanie Dunker realtor at gmail.com. Someone probably doesn't have that. And it's like, that will be the Gmail that you will use to set up your Google My Business page. When you set up your Google My Business page, you don't have to have that Gmail in there as a contact or anything. Nobody needs to know that. You can have your website, your details in there. But in order to use Google My Business, you have to have a Gmail account. Sometimes a profile actually already exists for you and you didn't even set it up. And this is a really strange thing, but what can happen is, let's say somebody's going into Google and let's just say they're looking for Brick and Bourbon. It's a new restaurant that opened up and they're typing in Brick and Bourbon and nothing comes up. Google will actually ask them, is this a restaurant? And people will just start saying yes. Do you know where it is? No. And it will start creating something on the back end for it, knowing that people are looking for it. So if people have searched you before and you didn't have a page, you might even actually have one and you don't even know it. So then because of that, you have to claim that it's your business. So if you Google yourself and you're like, oh my gosh, I actually have a page and I never set this up, there's a little question on there that says, is this your business? Because nobody's claimed it yet. And then if you say yes, then you can edit it and walk through the steps to change it. It's a really crazy thing. You're like, why would I even be on there? I've never even set it up, but it actually happens. Let's see what else. Okay, so address or not. This is tricky in real estate because some people are virtual. Some people have an office. Like, okay, so for example, this office. Let's say you work here. You come here every day. You have an office here. Do you want to put that office address as your place of business? Does anybody know? So it can go either way because this address has already been claimed as an address by Keller Williams Lakes, I'm sure, but it probably allows other people to claim it as well. However, when certain offices have regular business hours, like this one, they're probably not open on Saturdays and Sundays, and it probably on the official page, I'm guessing I haven't checked it, says it's closed, okay? So if for any reason your business is tied into that and somebody remembers that address, but they're Googling Keller Williams Lakes instead of you, and they might see it's closed, what could that mean? They might not think you work weekends. I doubt it, but some people don't understand real estate like that, right? You know you're working on weekends. And then also the whole address part can be tricky because when somebody Googles a real estate agent, they are usually that, let's say they just moved here, they want to move again, they don't know any realtors. Most people will say real estate agent near me or realtor near me. And Google will actually track and pick up real estate agents that are closest to your vicinity. So I did a lot of testing on this, which I thought was super fun. So I live in Maple Grove and I was like, gosh, I wonder who comes up if I'm like real estate agent near me. So I typed it in and Carmen Searzan came up and she lives 0.5 miles from me. She's a real estate agent and she put in her home address as her business address because she offices out of her home. She doesn't have a physical location with her brokerage. And so she just uses her address. And for her, it makes sense because she loves doing business in Maple Grove and she wants people to find her that way. So it's kind of like, what do you want? Now, if you're a brand new agent, and let's say you don't actually office out of this office, but you're part of it, you live in Edina, you would love to have clients from Edina, but you know if somebody's searching in Coon Rapids, you'd want to help them, right? Like then, do you want to put your address in there and maybe limit yourself there? Maybe not. I think, and I've seen it all different ways. Some real estate agents don't have a physical address and they're just virtual. And then some have a physical address. So I couldn't even decide which one was best. And I've tried researching it. So it's kind of up to you. I think it's easier when you start your Google My Business page to not put an address in there because you get verified quicker. They will ask you, how do you want to verify this as you, text alert, whatever. And then it's easier to set it up. Whereas if you have a physical address, I think they mail you a postcard and you have to type in a code and then it gets verified. That might be an older way to do it. I'm not sure. See how like I have 11 pages of notes and I'm just rambling? Yes.
So question on the address, no address thing. If Google's natural inclination is to search near me, that's kind of how they're doing it, right?
Only if somebody types that in the field.
Oh,
Now, if somebody types in the field, best real estate agent near Minneapolis or something like that, whole slew of different things comes up. Their search is completely changed depending on the exact keywords that somebody puts in. I'm going to get into that later because that's another thing people Google. Best real estate agent or top realtor near me. And because those words can change it by adding best and top, it could be all different. It kind of trickles down from like the first thing, the second thing, then the third thing that Google looks for in its little computing thing behind the scenes.
Get kicked off of Google My Business if you put that in there though.
If you put what in?
Best, whatever it is, they'll report other agents.
Oh,
report you.
Yes. If you put that in as your title, yeah, you can't do that. Nope. And it's really hard to unsuspend yourself.
But I feel like Google, whenever you type something in, it pops up like near, like it's really driving people to do that.
Yes, it normally does. Cause like, right, like even when I'm driving here and I'm typing in,
No address. What happens if you don't have an address? Will it like kind of never find you then maybe? So even though with an address, you're narrowing your search, if like Google's almost forcing people to,
that is a really good point.
I want to, at least you should capture.
Right.
And I just feel like that's maybe a newish thing in the last year, but whenever I type something and it says near you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I agree. And sometimes it is strange how like I will type in a certain thing and it will give me all these addresses that are like 15 miles, 16 miles away. And then sometimes if I type in near me, it will change back. So I don't know. It can kind of go both ways. And sometimes it depends on the device that you're using too, whether you're on a laptop or phone. I don't know. Things can get tricky. Okay, so crafting a compelling business profile. I don't even know what slide I'm on right now. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything here. So when you're filling out your business profile, there's a lot of different things that you can utilize on there. You can set up instant messaging and link it to your cell phone so that when they see you, they can tap a button and say to message you. And then I think it's in the next slide. I'll talk a little bit more about that because I'll explain why you should or shouldn't do messages. Yes.
Are you gonna actually show us where to go in? Page if you don't have one, or how to tweak this?
Yes. I will stay after class and help you. Okay, so that was let's see. So the number one thing that Google will rank is category. So that's the first thing that's going to come up. So if somebody does real estate, realtor, whatever, it'll go first to category. Then it starts looking for any specific keywords that you typed in. And then it does address, proximity, and then ranking and reviews. So if a consumer is considering a move, but they haven't given much thought to it, again, best real estate agent near me, it can like trigger, okay, we've got the real estate. What are the keywords? Best. And even though best is not in the title, what it's doing is it's searching that word best within your entire business profile. So if you've got a whole bunch of reviews on there and they're like, Tom is the best, I loved working with Tom, he's the best, they literally will pick that word. And if you have best typed in there, let's say 600 times and somebody else has it 5 times, it's going to rank you up higher because they used that keyword. So anywhere you can implement that word within your profile, it's going to pick it up. And even the word top too. Like maybe in your descriptions, like you could kind of plug in these little keywords somehow. And there's like a whole ranking system on how you can get these certain words implanted into your Google My Business page, which is really crazy and descriptive. And you can even tag them in photos, and I'll go into that a little bit more later. But that's kind of what it does. It takes those keywords and it really searches them like that. Obviously, using captivating, top-notch business photos is huge. You can choose to have a main photo, a logo photo, and then you want to have photos that exemplify who you are. Maybe it is you with clients. Ask their permission before you post it on Google if you can use their photos. Maybe it's just of certain houses that you've showed. This is one of the key ways where when someone does a search and you don't have a physical location, it will pick up your information. So let's say you were showing a house over in Woodbury or Stillwater or something like that. When you take that photo and you put it into Google My Business, you want to make sure that it's geotagged. Do you guys know what that means when I say geotagged? For that location, because that will pick it up in the search engine. So in your cell phone, in settings, you can make sure that your location is turned on. Some people don't put their location on. I don't know. I always have my location on. I love taking photos and knowing that location is tagged to it because I have like 65,000 photos on my cell phone. And if I'm trying to find that one photo that I took in Maui from 10 years ago, I want to be able to type in Maui in my photo searches and have it pull up that exact photo. So I like doing that. So once you have your location on, wherever you take a photo is picking up that exact location. If you have photos currently in your Google My Business page that are not geotagged for location and you want them to be geotagged, you can remove that photo and you can actually go into your phone, swipe up and say change location, add location, and then re-put the photo back into Google and it will tag that location. I think as real estate agents, it's really important to have a variety of photos and each one of them be tagged in locations that you like to serve. And it doesn't even have to actually have been taken in that location. Like, let's say you have this really cool headshot you want to, put in there and you want to tag it from Minneapolis, even though maybe you took it in Mankato, right? You can actually change the location in your photo to whatever you want it to be and put it back into Google. That way, if somebody types real estate agent in Minneapolis, that actually is a key search thing they're going to pull out of that photo because you tagged it that way. I know this is getting like way too super like off trail, but yeah.
Oh, Melanie, so if you go into settings, right?
Yes.
And your location services are on, and then it lists out all your different, if it's open table or your different apps. So like some of them I have when shared most of them are while using like photos instead of it saying while using.
I think actually in the settings, there's like a privacy something thing, and there's just one toggle that says location services on, and you don't have to go into every single app. You can change it within any app that you want.
Yeah.
But by having location services like available and on, that's just for you taking photos and where you are. Yeah.
Don't you have to have it on if you're using like your GPS anyway? If you're using Google Maps.
I would think so. I always have it on. So, I mean, yeah, I would think that it needs to kind of know where you are to direct you, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I would think so. So crafting a compelling business profile is huge. Yes.
We have a question online.
Yes.
Kelly Lynn said, how do I change the first photo that pops up when I Google my team?
Okay, so once you have your Google My Business page created and you can see it's you that's logged in, you can see your business on the side, and then there's all these different like insights, photos, things, and a little button to add photos or not. When you go in there, you should be able to rearrange and put one as the main photo. I played around with that a little bit because I realized too, as people add more photos, and by the way, if somebody reviews you and they want to add a photo to your review, they can do that. We do it at restaurants all the time. And so, but then some people are like, but I don't want that to go in ahead of the other photos. I want it to be my business photo. You can set and lock one as your business photo. I don't have it in front of me right now but I know that there's a way to do that. And your logo too, if you want your logo to show up. But typically if somebody's searching like in a map, it will have that main photo and then a little map of kind of the pinpoint of where you're located if you have an address. Or if you, as a real estate agent, you can add in there all of the places that you serve. You could add in Fridley, Maple Grove, whatever. And so it's like when it pulls up a map, it kind of just does this like range area to show where you serve. But you kind of serve everywhere, right? Okay, this is just a good example of somebody that has a very well put together Google My Business page. She's got all these 5-star reviews. Things are posted properly. She's got some pretty photos on there. And it's kind of fun even just to play around looking at certain people's pages and figuring out what comes up, why, and when, and how things change. Okay, let me just make sure. So how Google searches work. I mean, this is kind of boring stuff, but I was curious, like, how does it like actually work? So there's this thing called crawling, where Google searches the web with all these automated programs, which are called crawlers, looking for pages that are new or updated. So Google stores those page addresses in a big list to look at later. And then it finds all these pages by different methods, but the main method is following links from pages that they already know about. I know, that's pretty deep. And then Google does this whole indexing thing of what they've learned from crawling and tries to analyze what each page is exactly about in order to convert that to something that posts when someone does a certain search. Real estate's pretty simple. I mean, people are going to type in the exact word of what you do and kind of things that they're, and sometimes people say buyer's agent, listing agent, which I don't know if that's deeper into this presentation or not, but make sure to put all of those keywords into your description, unless you're just a buyer's agent and you don't want any listings. But just say, I'm a skilled buyer's agent, I'm a skilled listing agent. Add any relocation services, any single thing that somebody might search when they're looking for a realtor, make sure it's in your description, because Google will see that and recognize that you put that in your profile description, and it'll be like, oh, this might be a match for what this person's searching for. But I found it astonishing when I realized some people had these Google My Business pages, tons of reviews because they're good and people probably find them and want to review them, but very little description. Didn't even fill in locations that they're serving. And yet somehow they still, because they've been around 30 some years, right? I mean, eventually those reviews are going to speak for themselves and it'll come up on the search. I think I already did this. So it does topics, keywords, prominence, and distance. Those are key things. I did a little test here on this one. What did I do? I gotta see my screen. Okay, so I did realtor in Minnetonka, Minnesota. And then I did a same search, realtor near me. Notice how they changed. And I wasn't in Minnetonka, obviously, when I did the search. But when I did realtor near me, the Pomerleau team, they're in Maple Grove. I'm in Maple Grove. But look at how Kirby and Christina still came down on second. Even though they aren't near me, they have enough keywords in their search and enough of everything else filled out properly to hit that second spot there. I mean, that's really good. But if you think about it, and those, let's say all those photos are geotagged, they have their locations filled out properly, and they have these 5-star ratings, it's going to push them up quicker. It was really fun playing around with some of this stuff and seeing how Google picks who they're going to have in the what's called the map pack, the top 3. And so then also, this is a way people can search too. They can do keywords, put in location, and then another keyword. So if somebody wanted to, they could say, I want to look for real estate. I want to look in Minnetonka, and I want someone specific as a buyer's agent, right? And so the more that somebody's page has those 3 things somehow in there, that's how they're going to go up on the rank there. And see how there's call button, message button, share. You can share the link. I mean, there's so many different things you can do on here. And so this is what I found really interesting too. Okay, so I didn't ask you guys permission to use their Google pages. So Michael, you look great. Anyway, so for Kelly, for example, right? She's open 24 hours. So she's open 24 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. Michael Castle, he closes at 6. You know? And it's like, Eric Peterson, he's open 24 hours. And I think the thing that I learned when I did some research on Google, because I'm like, well, why wouldn't a real estate agent want to say they're open 24 hours, right? Like, someone's calling 9 at night, interested in using their business. Would they want to get the phone? Would they not? I don't know. But the thing is, what I learned from Google is that you're supposed to be actual and true in everything that you say. Are you at 3 a.m. going to get a phone call if someone calls you? And if someone does call you and you don't answer it, do you know, and you guys may have seen this on Google too, it will just start asking you these questions, right? Is this accurate? Do they serve croissants here? I mean, they just start asking all these questions every place that you go. And anybody can fill out anything. So if somebody says, no, this is inaccurate information, they're not open 24 hours, Google can look into it. And if they find it to not be true, suspend you. I don't think that would, I mean, I'm not going to say either way. You could do whatever you want for your hours. But I mean, if you think about it, it's like, when would you really want to do business? Maybe it is till 9 at night. That's okay. Put that on there, you know? But maybe Sundays are reserved for family and you know that, and it's never going to change. Say you're closed. You know, it's okay to just be honest and accurate in there. I mean, I think it is easy to say 24 hours because it's like, hey, if someone wants to send me an instant message right then, maybe I will reply, right? I don't know. I don't want to say either way. It's totally up to you guys. I just had fun playing around with it. And this is again. So I typed in buyers. I think I did the same exact thing here. Real estate, Minnetonka, and I did a buyer's agent in one and relocation in the other. And so when you look at who came up most for buyer's agent and relocation, somehow within those other fields in relocation, they had the word relocation more in there. Whether somebody said, hey, thanks for helping me relocate or something made that search come up differently, which is why it's so important to use every single kind of keyword that you can. Yes.
On Michael's, it had services and it had his list of services. When I'm looking at mine, I don't know where he put that in there. Do you
I'll
know?
help you find that. Yep, because you can put in almost anything. Consultations, like whatever, free consultation, like any kind of thing. Because honestly, somebody might Google that too. Somebody might not know that a real estate agent would actually meet with them for free. No, shocking. But I mean, somebody might not actually know that, right?
I found it.
So free consultations, right? Okay, here's the secret. Oh, that's my whole amp up the keyword searches. Any kind of keyword you can put in there. And you know, like I said, if let's say you have not yet created your Google My Business page, but you want to, and let's say you have all these fabulous Facebook reviews or some other method, there is no problem in simply asking that person to copy and paste that review into the link that you send them to put it into Google. It's very easy to do. Once you have a Google My Business page, it'll say, want more reviews? And you click it and it'll give you this link and you can send that link in a text, email, whoever. Send it to your brother, sister, and be like, hey, get me some 5-star reviews. But just don't do too many people at one instant, because if there's a whole slew of reviews that come in instantly, Google will flag you because they'll think that you're fake reviewing or something's tricky there. So just make sure to space them out a little bit. Let's see where else I am. Keyword maps. Okay,
I think I went through that already. I'm literally jumping all over the place. Can you tell this is the first time I've done this class?
Okay, I already talked about geotagging photos. But just to go a little deeper, just so you guys know, there's this crazy thing now where you can take a photo and you can type in these keywords into that photo that are anything you want. You can take that photo and add keywords such as top realtor, best realtor, everything, and it'll pick up as a search. These are paid services though. And I mean, it depends on if you really want to get crazy with it. I would start with just setting up your Google My Business page and making sure you're running it properly. Managing reviews and responding. This is huge. Google rewards people for replying to every review. Reply to every single review. Say, thank you so much for taking the time to review me. I loved working with you too. Add in some of those keywords or something. Loved helping you relocate. I loved being your buyer's agent. Whatever. Do all those replies. When people reply to the reviews, Google rewards them and actually boosts their listings more because they see that you are active and you are an actual business. If you don't maintain your page and stay active on it, you may have the best page ever and have people reviewing you. But if you never look at it, never reply to anything, you'll actually fall lower on the ranking because Google doesn't think that you're actually caring about it or nurturing it and keeping it active. So one of the key things that Google says to do is to do one update on it a week. And that could be anything from adding a new photo. You can post certain updates. Let's say you have a special going on during the holiday or whatever. You can add these little updates, replying to a review, sharing your page, any kind of activity. So just like you want to update all your other social media pages, include your Google My Business page in that. If you do little short form 30-second videos, whether it be on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or whatever, you can share those right into your Google My Business page too. And then it makes you look active and that you're actually doing business. And by the way, YouTube and Google are essentially the same company. And so YouTube loves Google and Google loves YouTube. If you have a YouTube page, you need to somehow implement it within Google. Have a link for it, share the videos to it, whatever it is, because they're all kind of combined together. Reviews are huge though. And even if somebody posts a negative review, reply promptly, because Google will also say replies within 30 minutes, replies within 2 days, right? But the quicker you reply, the quicker Google will boost your ranking because it sees you as active. Being active is probably one of the biggest things that you can do. Okay, I talked about showcasing that. Okay, so this is kind of where, so this is actually what it will look like when you Google your own business. This is where you can edit your profile, you can read your reviews, you can go into different settings and change things, add updates, Q&A. You can pretty much do almost anything that you want. And this is where, when you hit this add photo thing, you can rearrange and put one as the main photo so it doesn't change. Because again, if someone posts some really weird photo on there, and even though they're nice and giving you a good review, and you're like, I don't really want that to be my main photo, it doesn't have to be. But if you don't set it up that way, it probably just will start putting photos in as they're added. So you want to make sure that you have that done right.
Click down. What did you say? Is that on the three dots?
What's that?
Is this where you manage which photo goes where?
Yes. So I think if you click the add photo, it will let you make one be the main one. Or there's a button somewhere that says choose this as main photo or choose this as your logo. And then there's monitoring insights. So there's a button on there that will tell you how many people searched you by name, how your business came up in searches, how many people clicked into you after coming up on the search, how many people found your website through Google My Business. It will give you all these different insights. I think one of the first things that people usually do when they click into Google My Business page, unless they're ready to call you right away or drive there, is click on your website link. So make sure you have your website link on there for them to figure out how to get a hold of you and learn more about you also. And you can even do direct messaging. So you can get direct messages either in an alert on your phone that you have a message, or tie it right into your cell phone so you can reply right away. You know how people are nowadays. If they can't get a hold of you right away, they're moving on right to the next thing. Like if they can't figure it out or can't find your number, it's like next. You want to make it as easy as possible for them to stay and find you. This is what I really liked about the Q&A too. See how it says under the Schuster Group, typically replies in one day. Look at Eric Peterson. Yay, Eric Peterson, 5 stars for you. Typically replies in 30 minutes. That's awesome. And he's even open 24 hours. I picture Eric like late at night, like, ooh, better reply to this, you know. But honestly, like to have that on there is really important to see that. And so for Q&A questions, this is also very important. You can create your own questions that you think either people most likely ask you, or you think would be a really good question for you to reply that can boost your business or shine you in a good light, and add in some keywords. And it will say in Google whether that question was posted by you, the owner, or it was posted from somebody on the outside. You can, if you want to, which is, here's a little trick for you. Let's say you're sitting there with your friend or your spouse or whatever, and you want to be able to answer questions quickly and efficiently on Google. So it will say that you reply within 5 minutes. Have them type a question on your page, like, do you serve Minneapolis? And then look at you. Yes, I serve Minneapolis and all surrounding areas. So then it's like, that's a quick reply. My gosh, she replies within 5 minutes, and it's like an outside question. So know that someone's going to ask the question, and then you quickly reply. And you can do that. I think they allow, it might be 10 questions now. And you can rotate questions if you don't want certain questions on there anymore. They're not relevant. Obviously, the market changes, so there's a lot of different questions that somebody might want to know. So you can always edit them and change them. And you'll have control over that as the owner. So these are some good examples of pages that have been noted for having really good Google My Business pages, because they have good photos, good descriptions, visually appealing. So even just checking out Starbucks, Airbnb, or Whole Foods, just to kind of see how they do it, is good examples. Again, this is real estate, so it's not that relatable, but okay. And videos are the #1 thing right now that Google is rewarding for boosting your business page. And so you want to have short, easy to watch videos under 30 seconds. They also said to do some vertical and some horizontal, because some people are on their laptops. You know how you are. You're sitting there working and you're like, God, I should go to dinner later. So, and you just pop over to Google. Well, you're not in a vertical format there. So you want to kind of blend both vertical and horizontal, because Google goes both ways. And I think I had it somewhere in here on how many people search on their phone or not, but I can't find it. Google My Business listings with photos, though, have a 35% higher rate of clicking. So definitely for sure have those photos on there. First impressions count. You know, if you have a decent looking photo on there, they're probably going to click on you. Especially when it comes to restaurants and food. At least for me anyways. Okay, let me see what else. I don't even know what time is it. Does anyone have the time?
11:40.
Okay.
It's like talking hours here.
Let's see. 97% of people base whether or not they click on you on the review stars. And isn't that the truth? Like seriously, if you don't have a good Google star rating, they're probably not going to click on you.
How about not having a 5-star, having like a 4.8 or 4.9?
As long as you have all of the other features filled out and the keywords match, then it doesn't really matter. Since I'm going so off track here, I know that there was a thing where it's like, even if somebody had 200 5-star Google reviews, it still didn't mean they were going to come up first. And somebody who had 12 5-star reviews, but they had their photos in there, they were updating weekly, they had a video posted once a week, and they had their business hours accurately described, because Google wants to reward people that use the platform correctly, is what it comes down to. So even though, yes, stars matter to the average person searching, it's not going to come up right in the search. Yeah.
Where is this video feature? Because I've been looking for this. I don't.
So if you go into, oh my gosh, I would have to have it in front of me. I come look at your screen. I think if you go into add photo, there's an option to put in a video. Wonder, oh, I don't know how to click on your thing. But I wonder if you go into that, see add photos and videos. It just doesn't say it on the main thing, video. So you can put a video right in there. And you can do that.
I have photos all the time.
Let's say you have an awesome video you just took on your phone, even when you're in your car and you're like, oh, I'm just going to quickly add that to my Google My Business page. You could do it in like 2 seconds. Just add it in there.
Right, come by me.
Photos and videos kind of mean the same thing in this world anyways.
You have to read further.
Okay, I'm already at the conclusion, but I feel like I might have missed certain things. Let's see.
Can you put a Calendly link in here?
Yes, that was another huge thing too. If you have Calendly, if you guys haven't heard of Calendly, look it up. It's Calendly. It is a platform where somebody can instantly book a meeting with you, a phone call with you, whatever you want to set up. You can set it up yourself. And then it instantly goes onto their calendar and your calendar. I think it's one of the best platforms to use. And in fact, if you have a Calendly and you have a business card, I would definitely create a QR code that can link right to it. I would say on the back of my business card, book a meeting, let's chat, whatever you want to say. And they scan that and then they can be like, oh, look I can book a meeting with her or a phone call in one click. And they can choose the date, the time. It'll show your availability because it links to your calendar. It's awesome. Oh my gosh, I should do a whole class on that. I should. Because I'm amazed when some people don't use Calendly. I think it's fantastic.
I've never heard of it.
No, I don't. Oh, it's very low. It's kind of a low price, right?
I think there's different levels. I think you could do some free.
Yeah. But you can add in all these different options. Like if you want to just say free consultation and make it be a 30-minute thing. Or if you want to say listing presentation, and then they can choose to put in the address where they want to meet you. I think it's good to have like kind of a standard address in there for in-face meetings, whether it's your office, whether it's a local coffee shop. And then I kind of type in there, I have an address selected. If you prefer something else, just let me know. And then they can type that in there. I think the one I put in there is Daily Dose in Maple Grove. Just because I go there often and it's like an easy spot to meet. But they can pick wherever. And then I also, if they want to do a quick Zoom meeting, you can hook up your Zoom link right in there and they can do a Zoom meeting with you. It's super easy to do. I think I might have some more info. Okay, so let me see what else. If I missed anything. Oh, let's say you're part of a team and you have an assistant maybe, and you don't want to always be running your Google My Business page. You can add in other people to be able to manage it. So let's say you have somebody, Leslie Smith, on your team, and she has a Gmail, Leslie Smith, a Gmail. You can say, hey, I want her to also be an admin to my page. They can go in and make edits as if they were you. and change anything. Because sometimes, you know, as you get busier, you may not have time for some of this stuff, even though you want to do it and utilize it. So having somebody also on there besides you is easy to do. Oh, call to actions. This was another huge thing. If there is an instant call to action, it's going to be easier for you to get business. So every single little video that you do, make sure there's a call to action. Even if you're inserting at the end, want to learn more about this? Click here or call me at this or something. Give them a call to action. Or even just say, I bet you, you know, you have no idea what your home is worth. I can give you an evaluation within 10 minutes. I mean, that might be unrealistic, but probably could do it if you wanted to, you know, and just say, hey, free CMAs, or, I mean, whatever. Most people that aren't in real estate and maybe they've lived in their house for 15 years, they don't know a real estate agent. They don't know everything that we do in our world that we live in. So if they're like, oh my God, she's going to come out and tell me the evaluation of my house. Awesome. For free. Wow. They don't know that that's something that of course you would do, right? So by promoting it in a way where you're doing something extra special for them is really good to do too. What other things? I know I'm forgetting things. You guys, I have 11 pages of notes. I'm sure I forgot stuff. Videos were huge. Let's see. Any other questions you guys can think of? Okay, so they also said, okay, if there's 5-star reviews, 200 characters or more are best. Adding in some kind of a location within the review is also key. So let's say somebody loved working with you and all they can think of to write is, Kim was the best real estate agent ever. Loved using her, right? But you know you want more keywords in there. There's no problem saying, you know, can you say like, loved you helping me find my house in Edina? Or, you know, add in some keywords there. Because the more keywords that are in the review, then Google is going to pull those out anytime somebody searches anything relevant to those keywords. Longer reviews are better, more specific reviews are better.
You said 200 words? Or
Yeah. And so for getting reviews, and this is super important because you're like, okay, I don't have a Google My Business page. I want one. There's tons of people that I know would give me great reviews. What's the easiest way to do it? I think after anything that you do, even if you didn't help them buy or sell a house, maybe you just had a consultation with them and they're like, you know what? I think I'm going to wait 6 months. That doesn't mean they can't give you a good positive review right now. If they had a great conversation, send them the link and just say, hey, well, if you wouldn't mind, you know, just saying you enjoyed speaking with me or whatever, it doesn't even necessarily have to be that you had a transaction with them. Okay, so me being in title, right? I love working with so many different real estate agents. More than happy to give them a 5-star review. Did they sell me a house? No, but are they awesome to work with? Heck yes. So it's like, if anybody ever wants me, and that goes out to everybody, wants me to do a review for you, simply text me the link and I will give you a 5-star review complete with all the keywords that you need. And hell, I'll even post a video. Okay. I'll do that too. Because then you'll get even more like Google ranking moving up, whatever. But seriously, like anybody can review you. It's not that hard to do. You know, so many people, you know,
200 words.
yeah. They like it. The bet like 200 words is some like key point within Google. That's like, it shows like a good valid review. You know how it is even too on Amazon, like the certain reviews, like you can sort by most viewed or most helpful or whatever. Those are those long detailed reviews, you know, not just worked great. They go into full detail. And so not like you have to, but I just think it'll be rewarded more if you use that many characters.
Yeah, thank you for my review.
Oh, I did give you one, didn't I?
You gave me one too, thanks.
Well, I want to show you like how easy it is. And you can take that, you can take your link, okay, and you can convert it into a QR code. If nobody knows how to do that, ask me, I'll show you how to do it. And you can just have it easy for people to just scan and review you. You could put that on your business card. You could put that on your mailers or like anything. Be like, you know what? I really appreciate you in my life. Would really appreciate it if you give me a great review and then have the QR code. Who wouldn't if it's that easy? Take their phone and be like, oh, sure. Yeah. Okay. You just have to make it easy for them. Don't make them even have to search for you. Just have it go directly into the review link so that they can give you the 5 stars and type something up. And I think it's personally easier to do on your phone because then I can use like the voice to text. I don't have to type anything. I can just talk it out. I mean, that's just me. I'm impatient.
I like your idea of, you know, even if you have a meeting with somebody, you know, you're just first
Right.
with them and they're like, oh my gosh, this was great, da, 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 da. And then you can say, hey, would you mind if I sent you a QR code? Would you just do
Yes.
a review? 200 words, please.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's so true.
Yeah.
Make sure.
But think of all the people in your life. Like when I was in a BNI group years ago, and we had someone come in and talk about Google My Business, and this was a while ago, but they were talking about reviews and the importance. And so then it's like we had this thing where, okay, it's this person's turn this week. We all go in and give them a review. And then the next week we gave someone else a review. And it's like just to boost the reviews. And it's like, yeah, I know them. I know they're good people, right? I can give them a 5-star review, even though maybe they're not my financial planner or whatever, whoever was in the group. It's like, okay, they're great though. Of course I'll review them. I mean, I would review a lot of different things if you think about it. And, you know, all the clubs you're part of, people in your book club, you know, any kind of networking group, the chamber even. Like, why can't they review you? Of course they can. So it's just like thoughts. You have more people in your life that would review you than you realize, and more people that you can just ask to do it and not even worry about them wondering why you're asking, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what else? Any other questions? I know this is a lot, but it actually kind of walks you through it if you haven't done it before. I think some people just weren't sure how to get started, even in
It's good to
creating it.
pages that are good pages. Just
Yeah,
If your page doesn't have it, find a way to
right.
add it to it.
Maybe you want even someone to give you some advice and be like, hey, Google me and see what comes up and give me your thoughts. Is there something I can improve on? I mean, how many of you guys have actually just taken the time to Google yourselves? It's like, wow, okay, I didn't know that picture would come up from 10 years ago. Weird. But good luck removing it. I mean, it's not exactly a Google self-help desk or anything. I mean, they have help, but it's not that great. Yeah, like if you get a bad review and you want to get it removed, it's not easy.
When I ask Kim Guild age, I'm like, dang it.
It says age.
There's one,
Oh
yeah.
my God, that's funny.
When I put it in.
I don't want
Well,
that.
like, you know, how you're like Googling like a, you know, whatever, hey, you wanna know
Yeah.
how old, you know, Ben Affleck is, right? You type in Ben Affleck
I
age.
can do that to people.
So, I don't know.
Well, if you guys want any extra help on this whatsoever, oh, I think I have there. You can my business info is on that QR code, or it's right up there. Melanie Dunker at allamericanttitle.com, allamericantitleco.com. Reach out to me anytime. I'm here to help you guys and also be a title resource. Obviously, we would love the business of everybody that we can get because we're constantly growing at All American. But yeah, I want to help you guys in any way I can with your Google My Business pages or any social media, really. LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever. I can create classes on all that stuff, but so I think that's all I got.
Thank you.
Thank you. I didn't even barely read my notes.
Okay, do you have time to pop over here really quick?
And we have some staff individual time.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Got a situation. Okay.
I texted my president. Sure. Oh my God, I get.
No.
I thought I had. Oh, no, yours is right. This is your page.
Okay.